Welcome to the Natural Way of Being video blog. Mostly when I believe when other people are speaking about it, we're speaking about conscious intention. We make a conscious intention. And then, as I would teach, our intention then goes out from us, interacts with life, opens doorways, and we create things in our lives. The unsaid thing, at least often unsaid thing about intention is even when we're not conscious of our intention, we're still offering intentions all the time. And these unconscious intentions are creating unconscious and often unfortunate outcomes. And so we get things that we don't want in our lives. Well, we created those things, we just didn't do it consciously. And this is why I think we get a lot of frustration. We say, I offered my intention, I wanted a loving relationship, and yet I got this. What happened? Is God letting me down? Am I not doing it right? Well, no, you were good at offering your intention, but there was this other unconscious stuff that was probably eating your lunch. And me too, you're not alone. None of us, we all do this. So when our intention is not conscious, we get karma. We get unfortunate outcomes. And our fear and our belief systems are ingrained in these unconscious intentions. And I just had some spiritual insight about how all this works, which is kind of why I'm speaking about it today. Our unconscious intention is it kind of has an energy signature, or it's like think of it as like the DNA of our intention, or the programming, if you will. So we've got this unconscious programming or DNA that's creating things, just like our DNA creates things. These unconscious intention, it's creating things without us even realizing it. And all we do is we see the unfortunate outcomes. So as I was saying earlier, so even with conscious intention, there's often unconscious programming also creating things. Unconscious intention is also creating things. The way out of this is fairly obvious conceptually. We need to kind of see and bring awareness to these unconscious intentions. It's because, once we become aware of the unconscious, we're kind of making the unconscious conscious, if you will. Once we become aware of them, then it shifts the energy signature. It shifts the DNA. It kind of purifies it and cleanses it. And then our intention becomes more unified, around, I want to create love in my relationships. And now that intention is more unified, and it doesn't have like subtext, like creating stuff we don't want or diluting it or whatever else. So one way to approach this, is from our outcomes. And this is the value of, self-inquiry, of like looking in to what's going on, looking underneath what's going on. So if we have a situation and we're creating unfortunate outcomes, that's the way to approach it, because we can almost assume if there's an unfortunate outcome, we can assume that there was an unconscious intention that created that thing, so we can kind of reverse engineer it back, from, it's like, okay, if we created this, there must be something that created that. And so I wonder what that was, and that's a lot of the work we do in our sharing circles and sessions and, retreats and all that stuff is we walk this back to see like what's eating our lunch, like what's creating the unfortunate things. And then we can remove those things. So let's look at a few examples of this, how we can walk it back from an outcome, an unfortunate outcome, or I say unfortunate, an outcome that we don't want, okay? And then walk it back to the unconscious intention that created that. I do this awesome intention, bring emotionally available people into my life. It's clear, I put it out there, it's awesome. Yet still, if I don't feel like I deserve love, if I don't feel the beauty, if I don't feel I deserve the beauty that comes with relating to an emotionally available person, I'm probably not going to allow it. In fact, I'm probably going to push it away. We've talked about this. I've talked about this before. We're going to probably push it away. If I don't feel like I deserve love, I'm going to push it away. So here, look what I've got going on. So there's my intention to have love, and yet unconsciously, if I don't deserve it, I'm pushing it away. So I'm like, I've got two divergent things going on. I'm attracting love, and I'm pushing it away at the same time. So look at the conflict, and then all of a sudden, whatever happens energetically with that, it doesn't lead to good things typically. So then I can do some inquiry work around deserving love and deserving beauty and deserving intimacy and closeness. Or maybe I'm afraid of closeness. So there's another problem. Okay, so I want emotionally available, put an awesome intention out, emotionally available people, but I have a fear of intimacy. Okay, and so now, again, there's the divergent energy. Fear, I'm going to be pushing it away unconsciously. I'm avoiding, getting too close. What happens? Getting too close, push it away. Or sabotage it or whatever, or distract, or say something stupid, and all of a sudden that beautiful heart space is gone. We've all done that before. I know I have many times. And I'm like, damn, why did I do that? Well, I probably wasn't comfortable with the level of intimacy or closeness that was there. These are ways you can see, hopefully, hopefully you can see, how this creates this divergent energy. It's like we're attracting and we're pushing, and then whatever that does, you guys could see how, by looking at my hands, you certainly understand how it goes, right? So how can it be more clear than this? It does this, and which is not what you want. We want this, okay? We don't want this. So anyway, I'm being silly here, but you got to be silly because this stuff gets really heavy if you take it too seriously. And all we really need to do is look at it and become aware of it. We don't need to get all intense about it. We just need to open our eyes and look at what these unconscious intentions are so we can unplug them. We can disempower them, is what I like to say. So let's look at another example. How about with spiritual growth? Say you believe you're not capable of spiritual intuition or being psychic or being a clear channel, whatever it is. If you don't believe, maybe you believe that's for other people, but not for me. Okay, that's for other people. My friend, she's really psychic. My friend Ann, she's very psychic, and she's really clear, and she can talk to her spirit guides all the time. But now me, not so much. Okay, that's something I'm good at other things, right? But not that, So if I believe I'm incapable, it's going to kind of infiltrate the energy signature of that unconscious intention is going to affect and push away and weaken, that. So then here I'm doing my spiritual inquiry, my self-inquiry, we'll call it. And I say, okay, well, I don't think I'm capable, I don't believe I'm capable, or I don't feel like I deserve to hang out with God, which I call, the ultimate self-worth issue, right, is being one with God, or whatever form of God you want to speak about. Spirit, Jesus, Buddha nature. Well, you can't be in touch with your Buddha nature if you don't feel like you deserve to be a Buddha. We need to get to the point, and just saying, okay, inquiry, I don't deserve it, or I don't feel like I'm capable of it. And just I call it shining the light of awareness onto that, the light of consciousness. It was on the fringe of my, it was outside of my consciousness. I always think of, I don't know, I think of the consciousness as like, it has this edge, right? And it's just on the other side of my edge of my consciousness. And sometimes when it just starts to come in, it's like, it's kind of shimmering a little bit. It's like I can almost grasp it and put my mind around it, but I wrap my head around it. But it's like there's this thing, it's right on the edge of my consciousness. So then I work with it a little more, and I become more, I do inquiry work, meditation, contemplation. Again, I speak to, whatever, I speak to my teacher, whatever, I speak to my spirit guide. Once I believe I deserve to talk to my spirit guide, then I can speak to my spirit guide. It's like, and then what happens is I start shining the light of awareness onto this unconscious intention, which transforms it. I shine awareness on it, I make the unconscious conscious. It transforms its energy signature, okay? And some of the negative or lower, we could call them lower vibration, if you will, lower frequency energies kind of fall off. And now my conscious intention is, again, it's more unified. It's all moving in the same direction. It's like, and so it's like, it's on the archer. It's like the arrows is moving, and it's all moving in the same direction. And it has, so then it can penetrate, and then it becomes a stronger intention. If it's all moving in the same direction, then that intention has no resistance, right? And it just zooms out into life, interacts, does its dance with life. We used to call it the dance with life. It dances with life, and then pretty soon some doorways are opening up, and very fortunate doorways. Pretty soon there's a person that is emotionally available, or there's my spirit guide that all of a sudden appears to me in my dream tonight, or in my meditation. It's like, there he is, because there's no longer any divergent intention. I am making up some new terms here, but I mean, that's kind of what it is, that divergent, because part of me is attracting it, part of me is pushing it away, and we talked about that. So so there's no longer that. It's all moving in the same direction. It's clear going out, and when I offer my intention, it goes out, and then it's clear coming in. When I see the new doorway, I don't push it away, and now I allow it in, and then I allow myself to see it, and I allow myself to feel it, and I allow myself to know it. And in a sense, we've healed, because that's what it is, we've healed our intention. We've looked at some fear, we've looked at some limiting beliefs, and they were in the energy signature of our intention. And now we've healed that. Now it's clear. Now we can allow some beauty into our lives. So that's where I'll end. Allowing love and beauty into your life. Okay, allowing your spirit guide, into your life. Allowing whatever it is that you seek. Have a wonderful week. Enjoy yourself this week, and allow lots of love and beauty and adventure into your life.